Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, is finally on Netflix after debuting online many months ago. So today, let's talk about this new SpongeBob film. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Netflix. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. When Bikini Bottom is scooped out of the ocean, Sandy and SpongeBob head to Sandy's home state of Texas and enlist her family to help save Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and the rest of the gang. I was super surprised months ago when this film was released online and the whole film was uploaded on Twitter. You could find it online. Everybody was watching it, logging it on Letterboxd, giving it reviews. I watched most of it on Twitter, but here I am now giving my full review for this film. And I like SpongeBob. I grew up watching the series, and a few of the movies are funny. This was not very good. This is one of the worst animated films I have seen in a long time. One of the worst films from this year. Just so much about this movie made no sense, and I just scratched my head on the decisions within this film. Most of it comes from the human side of the film. Now, most of the SpongeBob movies do have human characters, from David Hasselhoff in the first film to Antonio Banderas in the second one. We have Wanda Sykes, who wants to capture these characters and use them for her own personal gain. That is where the film becomes absolutely ridiculous, and her plot makes no sense and really contributes nothing to the film. It tries to be this joke and tries to be very funny, but for the most part it does not land and becomes incredibly cringy. And I like Wanda Sykes as an actress. I think she's hilarious, but she does not work within this film. What started off as a pretty decent tale for Sandy, as we see Bikini Bottom scooped out of the ocean and we get the introduction of her family, you have a sense that we could get some more depth for Sandy Cheeks and understand her and her family. I thought some of that worked within this movie. It started off very quick, getting to our plot very fast, not allowing for any sort of development in the beginning of the film. They just kind of went into it, and then you had them travel to Texas and you got to meet her family, and that is where a lot of Wanda Sykes and people that worked alongside her were integrated into the movie, and they took up a lot of the film, so much that it felt like Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob, who went on this journey together, took a huge step back and allowed for Wanda Sykes and the other human characters to become a bigger part within the film. And it felt less like SpongeBob as the movie went along. In the beginning of the film, you had your SpongeBob vibes to it, the comedy and the animation. While it's newer compared to the original SpongeBob, they're still doing that original style of animation for the show. But the third film and this movie had that new style of animation, which frankly I don't really care much for, but it felt like SpongeBob. And then as the movie just progressed, less and less of it felt like SpongeBob SquarePants. It ended up feeling like something completely different from SpongeBob, and I just wanted it to be over. We are in Texas, and we have the human characters and the whole set. It feels very lazy. It almost feels like it's being a satire. They're trying to be a joke and not take itself very seriously, but on the other hand, you feel like this is the storyline that they wanted to create. They wanted to be very confident with it. This is what they wanted to give us for this film, so I'm very confused on what they were trying to accomplish with this movie. When you have all those human characters that really start to take away from Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob and Sandy Cheeks, they feel more like minor characters, and those human characters start to push their way through this film. I didn't find this film to be very funny. I didn't feel like it was totally like SpongeBob. I felt like it was something completely different. I liked the beginning of the film with Sandy and SpongeBob and some of the classic style of jokes for SpongeBob. The animation's all right. I don't really care much for it, but as the film went further and further along, it felt less like a SpongeBob movie and just something very generic and weird. And I did like the introduction of Sandy's family, got to understand a little more about her and her past. I thought there was something different for these characters, understanding them a little more. I appreciated all of that, but we got those human characters. That was like the worst thing about this movie. So Saving Bikini Bottom, a Sandy Cheeks film for a film centered around Sandy Cheeks. Got a lot of human characters that just take away from the story, and it just feels very bizarre. It's a weird film. I really did not care much for this. I think I'll just go back and watch classic SpongeBob episodes that I watched as a kid. And the first couple movies are great as well. The third film, it's all right, but this one, I really did not care much for it. So before I give him a score for Saving Bikini Bottom, a Sandy Cheeks movie, make sure to check out my channel here. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give the new Sandy Cheeks movie a D+. Thank you guys for checking my review for the new SpongeBob movie. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.